Life is brief. Awaken before it's gone. Insights from Buddhism. Take a deep breath with me, just one single breath. Now allow me to ask you this. Have you ever sensed that you're simply waiting? Waiting for the weekend to arrive, waiting for the perfect timing, waiting for your real life to finally start. We act as though endless days lie ahead, like a never-ending highway stretching into the distance, but is that actually the case? I invite you to visualize this with me. Imagine an older person in a hospital bed, their hands shaking lightly as they clutch an old photo in the picture. They are young, energetic, brimming with hopes. In that silent instant, a quiet thought arises. Where did all the time go? Not in anger, but with soft amazement. How did the years flow away like water through open fingers? Or picture a child standing in front of a family altar, gazing at photos of their parents, candles glowing gently nearby. They reflect on all the things left unsaid. I love you, thank you, I'm sorry, such ordinary words, yet somehow, time never seemed sufficient, or perhaps they assumed there would always be tomorrow. Then consider another moment, a highly accomplished individual, alone in a luxurious house, surrounded by every material desire fulfilled. Still, an emptiness lingers inside. Something feels missing. They reach the goal, but the goal turned out different from what they imagined. I share these scenes not to bring sorrow, but because they reveal a deep truth we often ignore. We behave as if immortality is ours, even though we know in our hearts it isn't. So today, I want to pose a question that might make you stop and think. Are we allowing valuable moments to vanish just because we assume tomorrow is guaranteed? And does ancient wisdom exist, a clearer way of seeing, that can help us awaken while time remains? Let's discover this together, not as a lecture, but as a heartfelt discussion among people all seeking to live meaningfully before the end. More than 2,500 years ago, the Buddha revealed something obvious yet overlooked. He named it anicca, impermanence, the constant emerging and fading of everything. He used everyday examples to illustrate it. We resemble morning dewdrops on blades of grass, present briefly, glistening, then evaporated, or bubbles drifting on a river, appearing solid until they pop. In the Sutta Nipata, he noted that few lives reach a full century. You pass away before 100 years, even if you live longer. Old age claims you in the end. But he didn't want mere intellectual grasp. He urged us to sense its pressing reality. Practice. He said, as if your head were ablaze, if flames touched your hair, would you delay until tomorrow? You would respond right away. In the Araka Sutta, the Buddha echoed an old teacher's insight and endorsed it. Human existence is short and transient, full of hardships and trials. This wasn't to scare us, it was a gentle call. Awaken now. Prioritize what matters. Live with full presence. No one born escapes death, but we can decide how richly we embrace life. Yet observe our daily habits. No one knows their remaining days, but most act as if eternity awaits. We dwell in what the Buddha termed pamada, carelessness, like sleeping through bright daylight. We promise ourselves a medical check next month. After a fight, we think, I'll make amends tomorrow, but new busyness arises. A message arrives and we plan to answer when less occupied, until it's far too late. The Buddha recognized this tendency sharply in the Dhammapada. He declared, mindfulness leads to the undying, carelessness leads to death. The mindful remain truly alive. The careless are like the living dead. You can breathe, move, perform daily routines, but without true awareness, living carelessly, you miss your own precious life. Let's be straightforward now. Let's examine the ways we squander this fleeting gift, not to criticize ourselves harshly, but to observe honestly. Change begins with clear sight. First, we cling to anger and bitterness. Consider it. We may hold grudges for days, even years, rehearsing past conflicts in our thoughts, cherishing resentments like treasures. All the while, we're not shielding ourselves, we're gradually toxifying our own minds and hearts. The Buddha saw this clearly in the Dhammapada. He advised, releasing anger, letting go of ego, loosening tight grip on I. That's when true liberation begins. When you drop these burdens, pain starts to dissolve. From my own experiences with this, when harmed or betrayed, anger feels rightful, like defending honor. But stop and reflect: who bears the real burden, them moving on freely, or you carrying that heavy load daily in your heart? Second, we pursue endless comparison and rivalry. I've observed this in human suffering. Often, discontent isn't from genuine lack, it's from endlessly measuring against others, always striving to outdo, possess more, accomplish more. The Buddha called this T a letter 1E47 Ha macron, craving like a vine spreading unchecked, driving us to chase endlessly, seeking the next thing, to feel whole, to feel adequate. But that vine never halts. Fulfill one desire, two more sprout, gain the raise, then crave the bigger roll, hit one target, another beckons farther, the goalpost shifts forever. While chasing and comparing to validate yourself, life slips quietly away. Third, we scroll without purpose, losing touch with vitality. You recognize this, right? You grab your phone for one quick check, suddenly, an hour vanishes. Hundreds of feeds, endless clips, infinite data. When you set it down, a hollow feeling emerges, a subtle disorientation. What happened to that time? Where did it disappear? The Buddha taught, one day lived with clarity and insight outweighs a century without them. A distracted mind, however long it lasts, has already drifted from reality, wandering in illusion. The reality is, your focus shapes your life. Where it flows, your existence follows. If pulled constantly to screens, to others' polished highlights, to addictive feeds, that's where your hours go, not into authentic moments, not into true connection with the present. The Buddha spoke of Indriya letter 1e43 Vyara, guarding the senses. When eyes see or ears hear, remain conscious, don't get carried away unknowingly. I'm not suggesting you ditch devices entirely, simply observe their impact after prolonged scrolling. Do you feel calmer and grounded, or more fragmented, restless, subtly uneasy? Fourth, we suppress our feelings, love unvoiced, appreciation withheld. How many heartfelt I love yous remain unspoken worldwide? How much thankfulness stays trapped behind hesitation? You think, I ought to tell them their importance, but you hold back. It might feel uncomfortable. Vulnerability scares you. You await the ideal timing or phrasing. Through personal losses and regrets, I've learned, certain chances appear only once, without declaring this is final, no signs warn, last opportunity to share your heart. In the Metta Sutta, the Buddha advised, like a mother guarding her soul child with her life, cultivate unlimited kindness toward all. Imagine harboring such deep, fierce love for a parent, friend, or mentor who shaped you, yet never expressing it, never revealing their profound impact. Don't let that become your regret. So what does genuine awakening mean? Let me clarify, it isn't fleeing responsibilities or monastic retreat, nor is it reckless indulgence without regard for outcomes. In Buddhism, awakening means realizing you're truly here, alive now, instead of letting habits and autopilot dictate your days. It means intentionally choosing your response in every moment. For this to deepen, the Buddha stressed Samadhiya letter 1e6d letter 1e6dhi, right view, the bedrock of the path, not borrowed belief, but personal insight into reality. In the Majjhima Nikaya, he explained, right view is knowing suffering, its cause, its end, and the way to that end. Seeing honestly, pain exists, it arises from identifiable sources, it can cease, and a practical path leads there. With this view, your perspective transforms. You stop reacting blindly, you discern underlying patterns. This illuminates the four foundations of mindfulness. Essa tip a letter 1e60 letter 1e60 h a macron n in the m a h a macron essa tip a letter 1e60 letter 1e60 h a macron n a sutta. He called it the direct route to purify the mind, overcome grief, end suffering. Simply put, attend closely to your body's sensations, to feelings as they come and go, to the mind state, to life's deeper truths. With steady awareness, you experience reality directly, not as theory, but as felt truth. Peace and purpose aren't elsewhere, they are embedded in this instant. Through this practice, profound shifts occur. You directly encounter anicca, impermanence, and dukkha, suffering in your own life. Most liberating, you glimpse anatta, not self, the hardest yet most freeing teaching. Anatta reveals no permanent, fixed I, inside. In the Essa letter 1e43 Yutt Nikaya, the Buddha said, body, feelings, perceptions, formations, consciousness, none are truly mine, I or myself. You exist undeniably, but as flowing process, like a river, ever-changing, never static. Releasing attachment to a solid self, dropping endless defense of me and mine, brings immense relief and freedom from a core misperception. Now, practical steps for everyday awakening.